Welcome to this little video about the new gine remote launch feature, which I'm going to show you now quickly. So the basic idea behind this feature is that you have like your development PC where you're working at, and you have, for example, other development PCs, or you have especially testing PCs on other systems like this one here, where you, for example, would like to test applications. Could be a different system, like this one is the Linux system you develop on, a Windows system to test on, or other systems. And with the usual way you have to do this, you have to replicate your entire development system also on the testing system, or you have to make time-consuming builds after every change of your game, transfer it to the new system, install it, run it. It's always a complicated and time-consuming process to do testing on different systems. Now, with this new feature, you don't have to do this all at all. You can simply just install your development environment on your development system, like I have it here with the IGDE running. And on your testing systems, all you need is to install or download and unpack in some directory the gine remote launcher tool. Obviously, you also need the game engine installed, but that should be not a problem. So with these remote launchers installed, you can simply connect them to a running IGDE instance. So you just need the remote launcher and the game engine on a remote system, but not your entire game data repository nor your development environment, just a launcher. What it does is that it allows to synchronize easily the game data for testing into a special temporary directory, and to allow running this game from this synchronized data and to get the feedback back. So you don't have to do all the building. So the IGDE has in its runner section, where normally you would test run on your local machine, you have now also the remote launching support, where you can simply say where to listen on your network. And once you're listening, you can simply go on the other system, also set where you want to connect to, give it just a name so you then better know who is connecting what system, since you can connect multiple clients at the same time, and then just connect. And from that time on, you'll see that we have now a new tab for the client which we just connected, which is our remote system. So usually the first thing is to synchronize your data. In this case, I have already synchronized, but I deleted a directory so that it has a little bit something to synchronize. It will then just check what is on both systems, and when it knows what it has, it will then transfer the missing files to make sure that everything is on top. On my system, this is a little bit slower here because the data I'm using is located on a NAS, so it's going on the network when doing all the scanning. So once he knows the file layout, he will then start transferring the data to the remote system, like it's right now doing synchronizing, and then it's good. If you're running from a local system, you don't have this delay that I have because I'm on a NAS. So the data is now synchronized on both systems, as you can see here. So I can now say, okay, I will launch it with one of these profiles which are from the other system, and that way I can see on my main system what is going on log-wise on the remote system, and on the remote system it will then start the application, which takes a little bit of time because this is Windows here, and it always is doing a little bit of virus checking the binaries, and this is slow. So that's not the launcher which is slow, it's just the Windows system which I have here on this laptop, which does a little bit of extra time consuming validations on binaries. So then this is coming up. So That's it. So then I have this game running on this system. I can do the testings on it. And I will also see on my other system the logs in real time if necessary. And the nice thing here is that, let's say you make a little bit of testing and you see, ooh, something is not working as you wanted. Then you can just stop it again, go to your code, and then, for example, say, yeah, I'm gonna make a little test. In this case, I just disable the animations. Then I can say, okay, just quickly synchronize the data again. This can be to all clients you're testing with. If, for example, you're testing multiplayer game, and you then can just quickly launch it again to see what happens. So in this case, I disabled animations and you see it's now disabled. So as you can see, you can quickly do modifications of your code, duplicating it to the respective systems, synchronizing if you have multiple clients, and then test it. This is also nice, for example, if you make a multiplayer game and you have like 2 or 3 systems on which you're running the clients, which are connected to each other. You have your testing people which do testing with the system. You notice that something is not working, and then you can just make directly on your development system the changes, synchronize it, quickly launch a test again, and you get of all the people the logs, so you can work much faster, much cleaner, much easier without all the hassles. Especially interesting is this setup if you then have, for example, also smartphones in play or some VR headsets, where usually you have to also use Android Studio to transfer the files to the devices in complicated ways, switch into developer modes, or even worse. That's all not necessary because these applications, this remote launcher application, is just a normal client application which does not need any developer features. So just install it, run it, connect it, and you can start testing your games on all the systems the runner is working on. Right now, the runners are working on Windows and Linux system. The runners for Android and VR systems will coming in the future when the respective feature is fully officially supported. But as you can see, that's how fun game development can be if you have the right tools. So in this regard, have a nice day and happy coding.